Hogwarts Legacy is developed by Avalanche Software, not to be confused with Avalanche Studios, who made the Just Cause series. Avalanche Software is known for making video games based off of movies and television shows, like Dragon Ball Z Sagas, Disney Infinity. They were also the developers on Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, which I thought was pretty neat. Now, I haven't played every single game that they have released, at least just from what it seems like to me that this is the biggest game that they have ever made in the studio's history, with one of the most popular IPs in entertainment to add on top of that. So I can only imagine how much of an undertaking this must have been for them. The only Harry Potter games I played growing up was Prisoner of Azkaban, which you can watch a review on my channel, and Chamber of Secrets on the Game Boy Advance. I always loved the franchise and the films, but I felt like the franchise never got a respectable video game alongside it, or at least any of them that piqued my interest enough. So when the trailers came out for Hogwarts Legacy, a bunch of people, including myself, were very excited by what was shown. I was so excited that I did the sorting hat quiz on wizardingworld.com, formerly known as Pottermore. So as the game was getting close to release, all I kept seeing on TikTok were people who couldn't wait to just order 66 the whole castle, which I guess people completely forgot that this game was rated T for teen. People really wanted to just turn this game into GTA. I mean, don't get me wrong, I myself was really looking forward to being able to punch whoever in the mouth if they said something smart. They said that this was going to be an RPG and allow yourself to be immersed into the wizarding world of Hogwarts. I remember reading a lot of articles mentioning that you could be a dark wizard and that you get to kill and torture people. I never really looked at game ratings anymore as an adult because it obviously doesn't affect me anymore, as I can play whatever I want now. So when I heard that you could potentially do these things, my mind immediately assumed that it was rated M. So when it finally became time to sit down, call out of work, open up Steam, and boot up Hogwarts Legacy, was it everything that I hoped that it was going to be? Everything? No. But the majority of it? Hell yes. Hogwarts Legacy is fantastic. If you did the sorting hat quiz online, you can link your WB Games account to it, which will grant you extra items from the beginning. You can also choose a different house if you don't like the hat's initial choice for you. The game will start you out immediately by creating your character. You have a lot of nice hairstyles and faces to choose from. However, I don't like that there weren't any facial hair options. I get your character's supposed to only be like 15 years old or so, but I most certainly had facial hair by that time already, so I don't know why that was left out. You create your character's name and whether they are considered a witch or a wizard. You also get a choice from two different voices. The male voice actor to me just sounds a little too similar to Daniel Radcliffe and way too monotone. Every time you spoke, it just felt like there was no care in the world of what you were saying until the last quarter of the game's story. The female voice option sounds way better though, so when I did my second playthrough, I enjoyed playing my character way more. You can change the pitch of the voices as well, but it just makes it sound robotic and not like a person at all, so it was not worth it to me. Your character has zero backstory other than they are just starting out as a 5th year at Hogwarts. Besides that, there's nothing more to your character. I kinda wish there was, but I'm not that upset about it. The overall main questline is okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it, only because as an RPG, your choices I felt had very little effect on the story until the very end, which even by that point didn't feel like it didn't matter what choices you were making. This was the story that they wanted to tell, and you have very little freedom on how that pans out. My second playthrough as a dark wizard, I would say some of the meanest things to students, which I thought was great if that was the path I wanted to take, but it never affected anything around you. Nobody treated you differently or ever mentioned the horrible acts that you have done. There is no morality system, which I feel this game could have benefited from.
I knew it! You're just as bad as everyone else. I hate this school. You'll all be sorry when I learn some more spells.
At the end of the day, I felt like your choices didn't really matter. You can play like a dark wizard, but the world around you isn't affected by it, which is disappointing. However, even if that's the case, the gameplay is just downright amazing. Walking around the castle is so much fun just because of how alive everything is. Until you have fast travel and this annoying little shit opens their mouth.
What are you up to now? Off on another adventure, are we? I've always said that travel broadens the mind. Off on another adventure, are we?
Shut up, bitch!
The game does a habit of repeating some of the same crap over and over again, which can become very annoying over time. I just want to be able to go to Hogsmeade without having to be told that every stupid little road leads there, or how fucking cozy it is. And on top of that, during quests, your character will say things to point you in the right direction, which I can appreciate if I am stuck, but they do it so early and in a manner as if you are probably stupid. Like, can I at least try to figure it out on my own first without needing your help? Throughout your quest, you will find a lot of chests and items dropped by fallen enemies that can provide you with rewards like money, potions, or new clothing. Speaking of which, the clothing you gather throughout the game come with stats that make your character stronger, and thankfully you can actually change the appearance of the clothing you are wearing for certain items while also keeping the stats so you don't have to compromise that while you are trying to keep your favorite clothes on. Potions can be made by buying recipes and brewing them together at a potion station. They can be very useful in combat that allow you to increase the damage of your spells or defense capabilities. You can also buy plants from Hogsmeade that provide support in combat as well that can be very useful. There are a total of 26 spells that you can learn throughout the game. Now, this might seem low to some people, but the 26 spells you have are very useful and powerful enough that having more spells would have just probably been unnecessary. Quality over quantity, I say. I do wish that this game had a New Game Plus option, but the spells you learn are from quests in the main storyline, so I cannot imagine that it would have been even realistic to have a New Game Plus for this. One thing I don't like, which also ties into the whole being a dark wizard has no effect of the world around you thing, there are zero consequences for you doing things outside of quests. If it is late at night, you can wander around the castle anywhere without ever worrying about getting caught or getting in trouble for breaking open a locked door and stealing any money or equipment you find. This takes me out of it sometimes because I'm expecting to get caught for my wrongdoings, but nobody does anything. You won't get detention, points don't get taken away from you for anything. This was pretty disappointing because it just took the immersion away at times. Traversing around the world is awesome once you finally acquire your broom. The controls handle very well along with the hippogriff towards the latter half of the game. Once you do get to Hogwarts, you are provided with what's called a field guide. This provides you a way to keep track of your progress to 100%ing the game. That can be from how many enemies you kill, finishing side quests, and most importantly, field guide pages which are scattered throughout Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, and outside of the castle grounds. They are everywhere. You can also rescue animals from poachers and keep them safe in a special room in the castle, and boy are these animals just adorable, and yes, we pet all the cats we see. Graphically, the game is beautiful and the music is just perfect. Soaring through the sky on your hippogriff with that beautiful score is just amazing. Peter Murray, J. Scott Rakoczy, and lead composer Chuck E. Myers all did such a great job capturing the feel of the Harry Potter world and expanding upon the great work of John Williams' original score. Oh, and by the way, if you have arachnophobia, you probably want to steer away from this one. Guys, Hogwarts Legacy is a fantastic video game and is certainly going to be a Game of the Year contender. If you love Harry Potter and don't care for all of the political BS this game has surrounding it, then definitely check this one out. Being a brand new game, I experienced very little bugs or glitches. It was a video game that was treated with great respect, and for me as a consumer makes me feel appreciated. Games like this and Elden Ring have proven that you can release video games if you give enough passion and care, and people will buy your game. I am so sick of buying these broken ass games from developers that just care very little about what the consumer is going to think, because don't worry, we'll just release a patch later to fix the game. I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that with Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm hoping that other developers and publishers acknowledge their success and learn to follow suit. Guys, my name is Pedro Ordonez, also known as GL7. Please subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, do whatever you guys can to support this channel. Let me know your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time in my next video. Peace out.